It's Wednesday, April 15, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. The measures implemented to stave off rampant spread of the highly contagious COVID-19 virus in Barbados are bearing fruit. That's according to COVID-19 Czar Richard Carter, who also admits that while the country has seen a reduced number of new cases in the last few weeks, it is possible some infected persons may have so far not been detected, despite government's best efforts. Though pleased with the successes, the Czar maintained that government could not rest on its laurels. He said while there were still no signs of community transmission, the situation could change at any time. Meantime, the Czar is urging residents to comply with new shopping measures which take effect today. Under the new arrangement, Barbadians are allotted specific days and times for transacting business at supermarkets, fish markets, hardware stores and banks via use of the first letter of their last names.
There will be the requirement to present your photo ID before entry. We expect that will most likely be manned by security guards at the larger supermarkets and larger business places, and persons will, perhaps at mini-marts and shops, will be required to then show their ID before they gain entry to the store, even if it is someone who is just serving as a dispatcher, as we used to say in the old days in the traditional shops. I hesitate to use the term policing because we are really asking persons to self-police, in the sense that only turn up to the shop or to the supermarket or the market if your surname begins with that letter for the day that you are designated. Only show up on the day when elderly persons are permitted to enter if you are yourself 70 years and over or a person with a disability.
Speaking on CBC TV last night, the Czar also urged lawmen to get tougher on those who flout the 24-hour curfew.
I would like to see stronger enforcement. We still have far too many people who are not abiding by the restriction. I took a photograph this evening of a kite flying above my house. Now, that is breaching regulations twice. First of all, I live near the airport, and it is in an area where persons should not be flying kites, and basically nobody should be flying a kite in terms of the restrictions that we are seeing. Similarly, I've seen people around doing shopping outside of the hours when you were supposed to shop, or outside of the designated areas that persons were supposed to shop. Lots of people riding around on motorcycles and revving up and doing all kinds of things. None of these could legitimately claim to be observing the basic 4 reasons why people should be on the road. And I would like to see a greater level of scrutiny and application of the law, because it is the law that requires people to be off the road.
Now, as the new shopping measures go into effect, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is fully supporting the wearing of face masks by members of the public. However, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. ANTON has warned residents about getting too comfortable with wearing those masks. He's made it clear that all preventive and hygienic measures must be adhered to as well.
We want to stress that we support the use of face masks by the general public, and by face masks I'm talking about fabric or cloth facial coverings. We're not talking about the use of medical masks. We have to stress that the use of medical masks, such as the N95 mask and surgical masks, must be reserved for the healthcare setting. And you have to appreciate that with this global pandemic, there's a shortage of such masks. And there's no evidence to suggest that the wearing of such masks is of any benefit to the general public. So I also want to take the opportunity to stress that we want people to not become complacent when wearing masks. You still have to remember the importance of hand hygiene, good hand hygiene. So you're washing your hands with soap and water, and you're using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and also physical distancing. Those measures, in addition to masks, is what we are promoting at the Ministry of Health and Wellness for the prevention and control of COVID.
Meantime, the director of the Pan-American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, yesterday warned that COVID-19 has yet to hit with full force in Latin America and the Caribbean.
In the short term, there is a dire need to expand ICU capacity in the region. Just this morning, PAHO held a virtual meeting on the delivery and management of intensive care for COVID-19, where ministers of health had the opportunity to learn firsthand from experts in China, Spain, and other countries that had been managing their outbreak. We are building on our Indo-American network to support the COVID-19 response in the region, and we will continue to do so. In the long term, we need to plan now to guarantee that drugs and vaccines that are being developed are accessible to all in our region.
The National Union of Public Workers is putting measures in place to represent its members post-COVID-19. That's according to President Akani McDowell, who has revealed that once the all-clear has been given, the union would be meeting with stakeholders in an effort to reduce job loss among its membership.
It is predicted that this pandemic will cause most economies to be in financial crises for at least the next 6 months. Government reported that there were approximately 14,000 unemployment claims to date. IMF announced that Barbados' economy is expected to decline by 7.6%. Therefore, a recession appears to be unavoidable. To my mind, Randy, government must be able to develop a strategy for finding and maintaining employment going forward. The union will meet with its stakeholders soonest to come up with a strategy for maintaining employment amongst members.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region, Jamaica recorded 32 new cases of COVID-19 over the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 105. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the new cases include 5 males and 27 females who range from 19 to 70 years old.
They bring to 34 the number of cases under investigation. Of the remaining 71 confirmed cases, 31 are imported, 34 are contacts of a confirmed case, and 6 are local transmission. The vast majority of the 32 additions, indeed 31 of the 32, are linked to a call center located in the Portmore area, Ulrika Intervention. This facility has a staff complement based on the staff registry of some 787 workers. We have so far in our intervention 258 individuals have been interviewed and sampled. 65 of those tests have come back. And of that number, 33 samples have come back positive. 2 were announced a few days ago, so 31 since today.
And finally, the UK's tax and spending watchdog, the Office for Budget Responsibility, suggests the coronavirus crisis will have serious implications for the economy. In fact, the OBR warned the pandemic could see the economy shrink by a record 35% by June. UK Chancellor Rishi Sunak spoke about the report.
Well, the OBR is independent of government, and as they've said, this is just one potential scenario. But I'd make 3 points. I think firstly, look, it's clear this will have a very significant impact on our economy, and like common with economies around the world, and it's important that we're honest about that. People should know that there's hardship ahead. We won't be able to protect every job or every business, as I've said. I think the second point is clear. The report makes clear that the actions we've taken, unprecedented actions, will help to mitigate the impact of the virus on our economy, and that will, if we hadn't done these things, it would mean that things are a lot worse. For example, the impact on unemployment. And the last point to make is it's clear we must defeat this virus as quickly as possible.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.